their adventure into the world of consciousness, the world of understanding, the world of not understanding, the world of logic, and the world of non-logic, of intuition and sensory perception, perhaps. I went through different phases today. I spent most of the day. Well, okay, so first of all, let me get the chats going here. Hey, Zenjamin and Sandra. So first of all, we we managed to survive our first below freezing night in the desert last night. I was a little nervous because we're always like in a different. I mean, we're progressing here, but I can't. We're not in a place where I could say, well, we were here this year. We were just in the same situation last year with the same, and it didn't freeze because we're always in a different situation in terms of our progression of building and acquiring things like water heaters. We have a big water heater that's sitting outside. Last year we had a water heater that was inside the RV. So I don't really know how these things are going to react to freezing temperatures. And last night I was a little uncomfortable, but we made it through the night. A few of our pipes were not pipes, but a few of our hoses were frozen in the morning. And but it was exciting, and we got through it, and that's the main thing. And I think tonight as well, it's going to be freezing temperatures, but I feel a lot more hopeful. I'm not as scared. Just we're always working on new things. The solar panels are very temperamental and things like that, but it's exciting to be here. So I'm very happy that Daniela wants to come on every other night. She says, she wants to get used to the whole idea. I kind of like having her here, but she's here anyway. She's just sitting right over there. So we will go back and forth with that for a while. I know she wants to be full time on the lifestyle channel. That's Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. We're having a lot of fun talking to Norman Grant about different aspects of healing that has not been addressed by the monstrous medical profession. I mean, I don't know how else to describe these creeps, but yeah, we're moving forward on all fronts. I think the world is. I think the revolution in Iran. A shout out to my brave brothers and sisters in Iran for standing up for their sovereignty, for their rights as people to dream, to live the way they want to live, not the way some idiot deep state so-called religious clown wants them to live because it's good for the CIA, it's good for the deep state, it's good for the reptilian gray, whatever these. I'm going to get into that just a little bit tonight when I'm going to discuss. There's a really good article about the Golden Dome. It's actually a repeat. I've seen this before, but it's very worth covering. It deals with the idea that the Iron Dome isn't just to protect us from missiles, but it's to protect us from entities that feed off, that feed off our loosh, that feed off our negative expressions, the Golden Dome. And that's another reason why perhaps President Trump is emphasizing this unification of America. Everything is off the hook, man. It's like the whole paradigm. It's not. We're not talking about like, well, Canada is going to be part of the United States and Greenland, and it's on such a level. It's on the paradigm shift is so major and so unknown to us. We don't really understand his motives. You can think, well, it's because, there's a continuous landmass, and now he's really pushing away China and Russia and saying, like, listen, man, this is our turf. Get out of Venezuela. We don't need you. What he did in Venezuela is so radical. It's I mean, it's so testicular. I mean, it's like, fuck the world, man. This is what's right. This is an amazing spirit of a true leader who's not afraid to go up against this deep state tyrannical parasitic loosh fed adrenochrome licking monsters, to take away their funding, their cushy, their to the whole paradigm has been totally dumped on its head. And this is the good news. It's so exciting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, FAFO motto, man. I mean, there was a clip from a Venezuelan security guard. He's saying they were hitting us with weapons. We didn't even know what was going on. We didn't hear them. We didn't see them. They totally, it was, and it was a warning to the others. I mean, he's for sure he's going to take. I mean, Cuba has been in our face. I remember when I was a little boy, the Cuban Missile Crisis. I didn't really understand what that meant. I kind of understand it in the context of the assassination of JFK. But why would a superpower allow a little, you know pissant like Castro, a little, he's like central casting, man. He wasn't a real leader. This is all a movie from the bad guys. So that we were watching a movie, and the movie has been taken over by the good guys, in my opinion. So exciting. All the anxiety that you and I suffered from in the last couple of years, like, when is it going to happen? It's so happening. President Trump says interest rates, they cannot charge us more than 10% on your credit cards. That's huge. And apparently, it's not so much that the number, it's that he's totally disrupting the banking system and telling them, you can't just do whatever you want. You can't just take advantage of the people, of their hard earned lives. Love Trump, Kennedy, and Kennedy, yeah, Jr. Right. I really enjoy your perspective on many things. Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate you saying that. Hey, Grant, great to see you, man. You were a ball, man, the other day. People are really excited about our lifestyle channel. I think it's like, I think it's happening, man. I mean, I don't expect to get, you know, whatever. I don't look at numbers anymore. For the last couple of months, I got kind of excited that, like, it seemed like I was getting like huge hits on these like little videos I was doing. I got like 350,000 hits on one video, and I thought, wow, man, I'm going to be monetized on X soon. I won't have to worry anymore about where I'm going to get my chicken from. Or, but yeah, but I don't care anymore. And it's great that I'm able to make some kind of a living on LifeWave, and I'm not dependent on these idiot, no, I shouldn't say idiot, but like YouTube, man. I mean, I just, what do you say about an organization like that? They took me off for mentioning, for being anti-vax. Would they still do that? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I managed to pull away with some kind of a following on YouTube. Anyway, it's not about the numbers. It's about the people that are paying attention. Those are the people that I want to reach out to. It doesn't. I don't have to be rich and famous or anything. Years ago, a friend of mine in the Jewish community sort of taunted me and said, "Do you think Joe Rogan should interview you?" And I said, "Of course." He was like, "Oh yeah, that shows you Ellie's out of his mind." I'm like, anyway, it's all good, but they're all central casting. I think so too. I think the whole thing is a movie. Maduro certainly is central casting. That guy's like he's a big jolly doof. Not a people who know about people. Like when I look at Obama, I see a Satanist. I see a sick, perverted reptile. A but when I looked at like Maduro that was captured, supposedly captured, it's just like that guy's a clown. He's an actor. Same with Zelensky, man. Zelensky's for sure a clown. Another reminder, collect, hit the like button. Thanks, Wade. It's called the Alliance, right? The Alliance, yeah. So the alliance apparently includes galactic influences, history unfolding before our eyes. It is really biblical. It is biblical. I agree with you, Sandra. It's about the messages, and your message is great. Well, thank you, Peppermint Pat. It's good to see you, or good to be, in the same thought space as you for a moment. Maduro looks like Saddam Hussein. Yeah, maybe it was a recast. Maybe he got the part. After doing Sodom, he got to be Maduro. He got to be Maduro. He's like, wow, you did such a good Saddam Hussein, man. We want you back for a cameo. I feel fooled into voting, believing in Obama. Vote 2 times. Yeah, I mean, oh, that you voted for Obama. Listen, man, I voted, didn't I? I almost voted for, I think I voted for Clinton. I mean, and I was outraged that Ronald Reagan was elected president. I mean, I'm a liberal. We're all liberals. We all went through it. We all and that's the beauty. And that's what Roseanne says. The thing that makes somebody a human is the ability to change. That these creepazoids that can't see past their own liberal nonsense, are they really human? I don't know. According to Roseanne, maybe not. He looks like Saddam Hussein. He really does. You're right. Quick change artist, right? Drop into a phone booth and change into Ma- Maduro outfit. One of who's body doubles, right? Yeah. Honestly, I was. Yeah. We all. We all were have had our moms. Also, I was raised by most delicious liberals. My mom still. I cannot talk politics with my mom. I call my mom every couple of days, but I stay far away from. I mean, she knows I'm a podcaster. I think once or twice she's looked at my channel. I mean, this is my mom who, if I came home with a new ashtray, my mother would be quelling. I mean, she'd be like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." And here I have, I do this podcast. Mom's just like, "Well, that's nice, dear." It's like she can't relate. So it's okay. I mean, once in a while, I'll say something about, good about how great Trump is. And she just goes ballistic. Well, he's this, he's that. You can't say that. He's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's a part. It's kind of like that thing where they were saying recently about how everyone that people turn into Agent Smith from the Matrix. Right. All of a sudden, I'm talking to my mom, and all of a sudden, she turns into Agent Smith. Yeah, you can't say that. He's horrible, horrible. Anyway, they're all horrible. She says. Anyway, they're going to start scanning our eyeballs, so for human or AI, that could be. We are the new normal. I think so. Yeah, that's a good one. I was fooled. Okay, Loretta, Laurel, I love the angel number 444. Live and learn, move forward. Yeah. So it's all what's going on now is mind-boggling. It's really about moving our boats into a different paradigm, into a different thought river. Trump has managed to move consciousness in a different direction. We were, Daniela is religious about watching Trump's speeches. So we were watching the speech on oil today, and it's just, this is so new to like stand up and demand what was stolen from you. So that they stole our oil. They totally ripped us off, the Venezuelan deep state, or I should say the deep state that was pretending to be Venezuela, and attack and torturing the people and putting them into, all kinds of financial slavery and all this other stuff, just like Iran. And the people are just, they've had it. People are just sick of it. I'm a crazy patriot, widow, mother, God wins, faith, hope. Yes, yes, Sandra. And I hope Starfire. Yes. Oh, you guys are going at it again. All right, Starfire, man. I hope I mean, you guys should meet or something. I mean, I really believe in. I got this guy at True Value. He's my go-to man. He's the only one in Kingman. If I really have a an RV problem, well, there are a couple sources. I've found a couple, but he's like my go-to man. And I'm like, yo, I mean, what do I do about this? And he's like, oh yeah, that's a this problem. So one day he was telling us that, well, he looks at Daniela. Okay, so he looks at, he kind of, he recognizes how stunning she is. He sees her the way she really is, and he just can't stop staring at her. I'm like, I don't want to say his name, but don't you, aren't you married? Can't you get married? He's like, well, I try, but I joke around too much. I'm too, he makes like dirty jokes or something, and women get turned off. I'm like, you know, you got to keep trying, man. You can't give up. I mean, he's such a beautiful. This guy is just like, he's rough around the edges, but he's a delicious human being. And I'm like, why should you be alone? It doesn't make sense to me. It's not, I mean, there are times when I believe that the divine wants us to tackle the challenges of solitude. It is, it is part of your hero's journey to spend some time alone in order to become comfortable with yourself and to really learn how you operate. But you don't want to stay there forever, if you can help it. I think pornography has done us a great. I mean, they really made it very easy for people to have like sexual experiences with themselves, instead of reaching out and having a little more health, maybe healthier, maybe more whatever. Anyway, there's lots of tests, and I'm not a person who would say it's all evil. Pornography is evil. I wouldn't say that. I think there are times yeah, I shouldn't go there. Okay, Daniela doesn't want me to talk about it. But I'm just saying that, like, people should be together. People should not be alone. There's too much isolation in this world right now. It's just too much. Okay. Low battery. Gotta go, folks. Yep. All right, Ian. Go get your charge. Go get charged up. Okay, let me go to the thought stream. I want to go right to it, because I was having a hard time finding something of interest, and then I hit the mother load. So I think there's some interesting thoughts being bantered around right now. Sandra, you going too? Yeah. Oh, you're saying goodbye. Um, take care, Ian. Yeah, everybody should be well. All right, let's go to some of these interesting thoughts. Okay, the storm is upon us with Nick Nick the Man, and let's go to the top here. Shattering the Matrix, right? That was what I used. Um, the FDA has intentionally been lying us to 16 years about fat being bad for you. He says this allowed Big Pharma to sell more drugs. They suppressed the data for 16 years. Two other large studies failed to show an association. Finally, the study trickled out in the medical literature. Nobody noticed it. Those in the low fat group had higher rates of heart attacks. Why? Maybe because when you avoid fat, you have to pound food with carbohydrates and often ultra processed carbohydrates stripped of fiber and chopped up to functions like sugar. We created a generation of children with low protein, high carbohydrate, sugar addiction, and burdened with ultra processed food. And what did we do as a medical field? Drug them at scale. These days are over. We are telling the truth about food. That's huge. I love everyone that's cheering on the Iranian revolutionaries. Don't forget why this is happening. The genius behind this is Marco Rubio. He decimated their nuclear program and now he has eliminated their Venezuelan slush fund. The Islamic regime in Iran is done. Ever notice how Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was about reptiles living underground who love pizza? Right? Okay. Venezuela, this is a very interesting thought. Venezuelan heavy oil is black, and yes, it's hammering Canadian bitumen prices. I guess that means oil. Yeah, bitumen, yeah. After a decade of pipeline paralysis, Canada has nowhere to send its oil except one route. Now Venezuela shows up with the same product and undercuts the market. Here's my prediction that oil isn't headed to Texas refineries. It's going straight into the U.S. Strategic Reserve. Meanwhile, Canada's leadership is under pressure to finally approve new pipelines, diversify buyers, and fix an economy that's been asleep for 10 years. Energy policy matters. This is what happens when you get it wrong. So they're talking about the Canadian. I don't know. Should I play this clip? Yeah, let's just play this.
Venezuela's oil, I believe it poses a challenge to Canada's oil export. Now, you're a Canadian. What impact does this have on trade talks between the U.S. and Ottawa?
You're right. It's having a major impact in the Canadian political scene. What's happening to Carney, the honeymoon period is ending now. We've had a 10-year economic coma under the previous administration, the Trudeau idiot king, where no permits were granted for pipelines. And so there was no diversification of where the bitumen, which is a heavy oil product, could get to market except down to Cushing, where it's processed. Now, we have a situation where the Venezuelan oil, which is also very heavy, is going to be coming to compete. So the Canadian price of bitumen hit new lows last week, and Carney's under pressure to permit a new pipeline that would diversify sources that could purchase this oil. Asian markets, for example, European markets. He's really getting his head squeezed now on this one. And that's probably a good thing, because at the end of the day, he was brought in after they kicked out the idiot king to move this ahead, because the Canadian GDP has collapsed and debt per capita is very high. The Venezuelan oil, however, here's my prediction. It's going into the strategic reserve. It will not be processed in Texas, where there are some heavy oil refineries. It will go straight into one of the 7 salt caves. It won't be mixed with the light oil. It'll be just put there to top up the strategic reserve. And by the way, in historic times, the last 20 years, much of that Venezuelan heavy has ended up in the strategic reserves, which could use some topping up. So that's where we're at. You got the head squeezer up north, and you got new source supply for the strategic reserve. And then what happens to Venezuela and the meeting today at the White House, that's jump ball. The most entrepreneurial oil executive there is Harold Hamm. Yeah. Rumor has it in the PE markets, he's walking to the White House with $2 billion cash in hand to start the negotiations for asset claims in Venezuela.
That's just fascinating. Venezuela.
So, yeah, I I like this kind of story because it shows you that Trump moves in this direction and it affects this other thing. I can only imagine the strategic headquarters of the White Hats being a very interesting and complex. Their situation room must be amazing. I mean, the genius of these people is amazing. Okay, let's go back to the thought stream again a little more. Okay, so this is the story I wanted to really focus on. I'm going to come back to this. Let me just say the twist no one saw coming. China and Russia will now be buying Venezuelan oil from the U.S. With Maduro gone and Washington controlling Venezuela's energy sector, the global map is about to flip in real time. China will need the crude, Russia will need the barrels, the United States will control the tap. The same countries that supported Maduro for years will now have to purchase the very oil they once relied on him to supply, but this time through Washington. This is more than economics. This is geopolitical power shift that reshapes the hemisphere. Venezuelan oil will flow again, and the revenue pipeline will run through the United States. Amazing, right? It's just an amazing thought. Iranians have gathered outside the BBC expressing their anger over lack of coverage on Iranian protests. It's, the mainstream media apparently is starting to report it, but they are being exposed as complete charlatans. My personal predictions for 2026: the Islamic Republic will fall, the Iranian people will be free, Israel and Iran will become strong allies, Israel will destroy Hamas and Hezbollah permanently, the war will officially be over. God is with Israel. That's a beautiful post. Alert. According to the sources of the War Department, President Trump will order air, sea, and land attacks against the narco cartels in the following states of the Mexico map. Okay. If no success is perceived in weakening the criminal structures, he will order the total invasion of Mexico with a massive invasion force. The cartels will be destroyed. Amazing, right? And look at this other story. This is really amazing. Starlink versus Iran's internet blackout. This, okay, I want to show this. I just want to focus on this for a minute. Let's see, how do I do this? Oh yeah, let me go here. Okay, I think I can read it. It's really small to me, but this is such a big power move that there's no longer one internet, that we can challenge the information stream, that X has all this information, that the satellites. This is a revolution as big, or perhaps in tandem with the incredible revolution in Iran and Venezuela, and the takeover of Venezuela. I think the capture of Cuba and the restructuring and the defeat of the cartels in Mexico, the conquering, I mean, the taking over of Greenland, of Canada. This is monumental. And this all goes back to Jassara and Nasara. I think there are 7 kingdoms that will be formed. I believe I read years ago that Australia will become part of the United States. I'm not sure how that geographically how that works, but let's look at this. Iran cut the internet on Thursday, the bad guys, plunging 9 million people into digital darkness as protests hit all 31 provinces. The regime even cut landlines in some areas, but then Starlink pushed through. Starlink's low Earth orbit satellites can't be blocked like traditional internet. So videos are now leaking out showing continued protests. People would still need ground terminals that Iran People would still need ground terminals that Iran's actively policing. So only a small number have access, and it's degrading. But even degraded connectivity beats total blackout. When governments shut down the internet to silence protest, Starlink becomes the lifeline that keeps the truth alive. This is so huge. And we personally, I mean, we live in a very remote area. You're not going to get internet cables up here or whatever. I mean, but we have Starlink up here. It just changes everything. This is huge. And this is a very good way to segue into the next thing I want to it's epic. It's absolutely epic. This is and but we knew I knew about this. I knew about this 5, 6 years ago. How did I know about it? And this takes it one step farther. I knew about it from, did I drink my coffee? Brian Best, man. I'm drinking Ethiopia. His one of his new Ethiopian. Well, I didn't show the picture. Yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, right. I didn't show a picture that Caspo went to visit Brian and Corinne today, and I have a picture of it. I didn't upload it, but I'll upload it tomorrow. But this is epic. I mean, Anton Green, my buddy from Alabama, nailed it. This is epic. This mafia, this transnational criminal organization that is directed probably by demonic forces underground. I'm going to get to that. And a mention of Majestic 12. I'm very interested in Majestic 12 ever since the days of Carl from New Zealand. If you go to his Rumble channel, it's called Magic Eyes, Magic Eyes. I don't know if he's put out any new posts lately. I haven't really checked out his channel in a while, but his posts are, you want to get your mind blown, man. Spend an hour looking at one of Carl's decodes of a Q post. You'll never be the same. It's in Magic Eyes on Magic Eyes on Rumble. And by the way, apparently Daniela stumbled upon a way that one could gift us a Bitcoin and Tether on Rumble. You could donate it to us, but just know that I of course we would be very appreciative of receiving crypto, but if as soon as I got Bitcoin, I would convert it to one of the ISO 222 coins. That I don't covet owning Bitcoin. I think it's a worthless coin, and Tether is, I don't know. They said gold Tether. I don't know what that means, but this is the deep state, trying to keep its claws. I'm always saying things about Bitcoin. We're still, Bitcoin. I'm like, give it a break, man. You and MySpace, man. I mean, it ain't happening. Anyway, evil's being illuminated and exterminated. Absolutely. Okay, so now let me go from this idea that, like Anton said, Lower Alabama, man, sweet home, right? I mean, it makes me miss my Stratocaster. I sold my Stratocaster years ago. I did buy a Telecaster recently, but a certain person convinced me to sell it. Anyway, I haven't been playing much guitar anyway, but I do intend to. Okay, this is epic. This is, when Elon came and turned around X And what Michael, that the general, uh, he said it gave us a like a safe space. Like he called it, I forget what he called it, like a bunker, like a beach, a beachhead. It was like a beachhead for us to land on because they were totally exterminating the truth. This attack on humanity that went along with the COVID-19 barrage, this attack on humanity, and the vaccine that went with it. It was a full scale. I mean, I just, when I think back of how I was thrown out of the building where I was teaching special needs. They beg they beg people to go into special needs. They don't have enough teachers. They were just throwing me out because I wouldn't I because the union rep, Pierre Lapew, whatever his stinking name was, some French dude. Yeah, you're not wearing your mask correctly. Oh. So they threw me out of the building. They had to like hide me in a basement for a year. It was wonderful. I loved it. I was like low contact. I was on the internet all day long, editing my films and all this cool stuff. But I do have a lively wife. A lively wife or lovely, yeah. Ted didn't know that. Ola, okay. And thanks. Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. She is like her. She has a very different way of doing things, and it's just, I love it. I really. General Flynn, right? Right. General Flynn said we need a beachhead. We need a safe place on the internet. This is a war. You are digital warriors, and we have done amazing. The whole thing is turning around. Well, of course, I mean the general. I mean the commander in chief is unbelievably like blasé. He's just very casual about what he does. It's just like he's so gracious and poised as he completely dissolves the deep state's stronghold on humanity. Yeah, we're coming into there was I had some idea about, like, I wanted to just remind people about, well, I did last night, about how much change is taking place, but we don't have to live like refugees. The deep state is being obliterated. Why I got my car repossessed. I mean, it was probably a gift from the one above. I thought that they just were like, they didn't want my payments anymore. They were granting me a free vehicle, but it turns out that they did repossess it. So I'm not immune to the Matrix's their little emotional outbursts. It's like, okay, take the car, man. You're gonna make a loss. It's gonna be a net loss. And I was kind enough. I said, "Well, at least you should have my address. You didn't send me a bill, but because you didn't have my address, all your bills went who knows where." So I gave my address, so now they can tell me, how much I owe them, and I can take the letter and just throw it in the garbage can, because whatever, because I don't have an address. I mean, they wouldn't give me an address because of my septic tank isn't certified. I mean, wouldn't you say we've been at war since 2015? Yeah, absolutely. The tide is turning. Yeah, big time. Hola, hola, Marcia, Goya, Hagoya. Okay. Yeah, Sandra, war since. Oh no, I don't. Listen. Don't get me started, Sandra, with that stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to ignore that post. All right, so let's go back. I'm now going to launch. Okay, so I want you to think of this: Majestic 12, which were the 12 wise men, the assholes who were instructed by. Now, I know Laura Eisenhower denies it. I don't know who formed Majestic 12. I don't know if it was Ike. I don't know who it was, but 12 men were assigned the task of keeping us from understanding the fact that there were beings from other realms in our presence. And I from what I understand, they gave these creepy otherworlders permission to study, abduct, play with, steal DNA, this kind of stuff, in exchange for a certain amount of technology. So, from what Carl says on Magic Eyes, Majestic 12 went very rogue. They got very into their own power. They became the masters of the planet. But at some point, they turned around and decided to do the poor humans a favor and gift us with the internet. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The digital asset investor. I was talking about Starlink. The digital asset investor, like 6 years ago. This is a guy from, I think, Alabama or someplace in the South. Kind of a cool dude. There are a lot of people who imitate him. I think, kind of like me. I got all these weird Ellie Weber channels I never saw before, and I will never reach out to you with a crypto deal. So, nor will anybody else. And Coinbase is not going to tell you must give them your ID number because your crypto is just stolen. That ain't going to happen. Those are scammers. Okay, so the digital asset investor said years ago, isn't it interesting that XRP, and this was before Twitter became X, is like an X, and that their logo is similar to Elon's logo, to the Starlink logo, and that XLM, XRP, XDC, all these things were created for Starlink, for the quantum financial system. So this happened years ago. So this conjuncture of technologies is being unleashed upon the world now. I don't know why XRP never went up to, Bitcoin levels. I think it will soon. But that's besides the point. That's like, why don't I have 5 million viewers? It's like, it's just not time yet. It's not time. People are not ready for this kind of thinking. They're not quite there yet. And that's okay. It's okay. So Majestic 12, if Carl is right, they gifted us the internet. Elon saved a space in the internet for us to continue to speak truth without censorship like YouTube. I'm admitting I have a terrible weakness, and that is when somebody really does me wrong, I am not quiet about it. And that used to drive my assistant principals wherever I worked nuts, because I wouldn't hesitate to tell the kids what creepy assholes they were. But that's really not a nice thing to do, and it's not smart. It got me in all kinds of trouble. But so too YouTube has been not so nice. Will that continue? I hope not. I hope I can continue with my YouTube channel. I love being on YouTube. Can I borrow your walker? Oh, I love it. I love it. What a great thank you for identifying yourself as a complete berserk, whatever. Ishmael says they were Atlantic archives under Venezuela and the White Hats now have access to. I wouldn't be surprised. Any type of copper from Home Depot is good. I think so. I think copper is going to be valuable, but I like to be able to have it in a form where I can go to the pawn shop and say, okay, I need money. Because for me, silver and gold and copper are currencies. I don't just buy them and hold them. I use them. I don't like to keep money in the bank. So I'll just go out and buy a bunch of silver, gold. Well, I haven't, I don't have much silver and gold anymore. I bought land, but copper I can afford. So I'll go out, if I have 100 extra bucks, I'll go out and buy 100 ounces of copper. And that way, if I need cash, like I had a roll of silver coins, silver ounce. I had 20 silver ounces before they took off to the moon, and I needed wood. So I thought nothing of trading in my silver for 5 truckloads of excellent lumber. Which, okay, I'm going to take a little thing which I spent today. I just want to share this, and then I'll get back to Majestic 12. But I'm working on our little well house today, and I already put in windows and door. I put in a window and a door, and it's a triangular shape. I have it strategically pointed. The point of it is into the wind, and the this backside is where I can put a door and a window. But that's our little well house, our little protectorate. That's what I was working on today. Once the wind went down a bit, I was able to get out there. It was freezing cold up here. Not freezing cold, but it was like, it was cold enough for the water to solidify. So it was I had to wait until the sun warmed it up significantly so I could go outside and work on this. So I'll show you a more recent picture. But okay, so now let's go back to my main thing. So now we're talking about, and this is where perhaps that this channel differs from other channels. I mean, there are people like Cobb out there. There are people who are galactics, and then there are people who are political, and there are people who are spiritual, and there are people who are religious. But we do it all. We combine it all. We're shameless when it comes to picking, finding the transition, finding where two things that appear completely unrelated connect, like in Venezuela, it connects to Canadian oil. That's the kind of thinking that we're coming into. I mean, that's the mind-boggling thing about President Trump is he thinks in many different dimensions. So you think he's doing this for this reason, but it turns out it was for another reason that you didn't even think of. I didn't think of, like losing the election, allowing it to appear as though Joe Biden, who was already killed, who was dead in Gitmo, won the election. I mean, I'm like, why would you do that? But it turns out that was the most brilliant move they could have made. Okay, so now we understand. Possibly Majestic 12 gave us the internet. Elon, who is not Elon, by the way, it's central casting again. The guy playing Elon, Elon the White, gave us X, a beachhead, as Michael Flynn says, a beachhead in the information systems, in the information like geography, like in the landmass that, like, because in this war, it's like instead of tanks and guns, I mean, they have that too, but instead of tanks and guns, they had this digital battlefield, where now the digital battlefield is forging ahead of the mainstream media. The mainstream media is now having to pick up the Nicholas stories. I don't want to botch his last name. My hero, he's a great reporter. He's so casual. He just walks into the enemy's camp and he asks them questions, and they reveal themselves. Okay. Let me. I'm losing myself here. I'm losing it. But this is. It kind of has a physicality. This digital battlefield. It kind of has like a. To me, it feels like it has a a battlefield, okay, and the beachhead was X, and the beachhead was the internet, and the beachhead is now Starlink. That's related to XRP and XLM, and all these things are going to be in the quantum financial system moving forward. Now I'm going to go into the main part of tonight's video, which is the Golden Dome. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I can reduce it to, probably not, but let's go to this. Okay. Starlink again. Starlink versus Iran's internet blackout. Okay. Now we're going to the Golden Dome. The Golden Dome. Oh, this is from Ariel. What you are not being told, protect the sacred land. The back channel of the books. The Golden Dome. I'm not going to read this whole thing. The Golden Dome, Donald Trump, President Donald Trump envisions isn't just a missile shield. It's the reactivation of an ancient etheric barrier woven into America's foundational grid by Freemasons, architects who encoded sacred geometry from Egyptian and Atlantean blueprints designed to insulate the nation against not now. I don't accept that the Freemasons actually did any architecture. I think they're freeloaders. I don't agree with Ariel that, but anyway, designed to insulate the nation. This is talking about the Golden Dome, not only from ballistic threats, but interdimensional incursions that have plagued humanity since the fall of Eden, um, of Eden. Right. Gan Eden. This dome, often mislabeled as a mere Iron Dome upgrade, draws on classified Tesla inspired scalar wave technology suppressed since the 1940s Philadelphia experiment to create a resonant field that harmonizes with Earth's ley lines, effectively cloaking the U.S. in a golden auric shield visible only to those with awakened third eye perception. It's almost like a modern Ark of the Covenant, fulfilling prophecies and revelation about a new heaven and new earth where evil is repelled, with America's role as the New Jerusalem mirroring Manly P. Hall's revelations in the secret teachings of all ages that the U.S. was engineered as the phoenix rising from Atlantis' ashes. Spiritually, it anchors the enlightened consciousness grid, countering Draco manipulations that feed on fear frequencies, as tall whites have allegedly whispered to select white hats in underground alliance dating back to Eisenhower's 1954 treaties. Cosmically, this dome interfaces with the Galactic Federation's quarantine protocols around Earth, preventing lower density entities from exploiting timeline fractures caused by CERN's Hadron collisions. The classified truth blows minds because it's not defensive hardware, it's a planetary ascension trigger insulating America as the vibrational lighthouse for global awakening, where poverty and disease dissolve under 0 point energy flows once the dome activates. It looks like I'm going to read the whole thing because it's fascinating. Let me just see what happens if I go small with this. No, I can't read it. It's too small for me. I'm sorry. I have to make it large. Let's go back. Humanity isn't ready because admitting this exposes the simulated nature of our reality, risking mass ego dissolution as people confront their roles in a cosmic game scripted by supposed archons. The archons are the evil ones who live on the loosh, on the fear that we generate. I guess you could consider this a transmutation and transformation. Beneath the mainstream narrative of missile defense lies a taboo layer. The Golden Dome harnesses orgone energy accumulators based on Wilhelm Reich's suppressed research to transmute negative thought forms into protective plasma fields, effectively neutralizing psychotronic weapons deployed by Masonic offshoots gone rogue. White hats operating through Majestic 12 remnants view this as a final counter to cabal engineered weather weapons like HARP, which have been used to manipulate timelines by inducing collective trauma events. The dome's golden U isn't metaphorical, it's frequency specific alloy incorporating monatomic gold alchemy sourced from ancient Anunnaki states in Iraq to amplify human DNA activation towards 12-strand potential as detailed in hidden Rosicrucian text Hall reference, Manly P. Hall, or whatever his name is. The supposed Federation overseers, including off planet authorities from potential other constellations, have sanctioned this because America, as Hall's new Camelot, holds the karmic key to breaking the Draco's soul harvesting cycle embedded in global debt systems. Sensitive intel reveals underground bunkers beneath Mount Weather House, prototype dome emitters tested during 2020 lockdowns to repel astral parasites feeding on isolation fear. Going further, this insulates against solar flash events prophesized in Hopi lore, where the dome acts as a Faraday cage for consciousness preserving enlightened souls while lower vibrations phase out. Okay, join the gift call. I'm not sure where Ariel gets this, but this is an amazingly resonant portrayal of where it seems like we could be. One of the possibilities of the new reality of the Great Awakening is that there will be this physical golden dome that will protect us and draw us towards enlightenment, unhampered by the creepazoid archons that feed off our loosh and the like. This all, and the fact that he mentions Majestic 12 just gives it more resonance to me personally, because I think that Majestic 12, the Majestic 12, this is 12 actually humans, or supposedly, that reshaped our reality to fit a narrative that was not good for us, in my opinion. So I guess at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this is a multi-leveled awakening. And that if you take it as a political awakening, that's fine and dandy. If you take it as a financial awakening, that's fine and dandy. If you take it as a medical, a nutritional, a vibrational awakening, that's fine and dandy. But the truth of the matter is that all these aspects connect. And that's, I think, what distinguishes this community versus other information communities, and that we are able to find resonant pieces of this quantum bridge, Caspa, my friend Caspa, I met from Quantum Bridge, resonant pieces of this quantum bridge together in a way that is not necessarily cause and effect logical. It is ADHD to the max, man, and it is beautiful. It is etheric. It is, we are building a bridge into a new era of consciousness, a new layer of reality that is at least partially a product of our creative thought streams. Anyway, yeah, I don't trust the banks. Right. I saw this man scan a penny and he got $40,000. Yeah. Upgrade gold is 4,000, silver. Okay, so I missed all that, but my car got repossessed this morning. Harder times I haven't seen in years. Yeah, sorry about that, man. I got my car repossessed, so um, it there's always a silver lining to every cloud. Iran, I told, was killed by rioters or protesters. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The fact of the matter is that hello from Montana. Yeah, wonderful for me to watch anyone else being. It's wonderful for me to watch everyone else being awakened. Yeah, I think so. This is the Great Awakening. There's no question about it. We are being transformed into a new state of consciousness where things will not necessarily be linear. They will be um, whatever shape. I'm thinking of that donut shape. You know that things kind of a sine wave curled in on itself. I forget what they call it, but yeah. Anyway, the lender will be sending you after they sell for what they can get. You'll have to claim the difference as income. Crooks. Yeah, do not. Jimmy. My response is fuck you. You took my car, and you think you're going to get more money out of me? You got to be crazy. You lost it. You just pulled a bad deal on yourself. You took my car. I mean, you could have maybe convinced me to make payments on it, but instead you went rogue, and now you're out all this money. It's like screw them, man. It's like taxes. Why? Do not engage these idiots. Just walk away. Just walk away, and you don't owe them anything. They owe you. Anyway, yeah. Um, Infinity. Yeah. So anyway, all these things connect in ways that we can't even imagine, and I think that's really it, this kind of thinking. The kind of thinking that we do here is going to propel us into another state of being, into the refining aspects of the Golden Dome, perhaps. No, don't declare bankruptcy. Don't even. Are you guys crazy, man? Fuck the system. Don't even engage them. Just walk away. Just you walk away, man. I mean, you don't play with these. Once you start a lawsuit, once you get into their system, you're done. It's voluntary. You don't have to volunteer for insanity. I just walk away, man. Just say, hey, they took my car. See you later. You're gonna pay them more money after they took your car? Screw that. That's the matrix. We don't engage. We don't deal with the matrix. Look at even Trump is saying they can't charge you 10% on your credit card. I mean, they can't charge you. I just got a credit card, and all of a sudden they want to give me a credit card. 30%. 35% on my credit card. Are you kidding me? You really think I'm going to pay you 35%? Screw you. I'll take some free items. You think that's theft? I'm stealing from the master thieves themselves. I should feel guilty. I should feel like I'm committing an immoral act. Are you kidding me? I can't even afford the wood at Home Depot. A 2x4 for $3 or two. It's like, how am I supposed to build a house on that? This is the only way you can afford it is to play their game, is to play in the system, is to get into the matrix. But that's not really the topic here. But guys, we're out of the matrix. You do not have to surrender to these creeps. Trump is we're going into Jassara Nasara. This is my opinion. Maybe I'm completely rogue. Or I'm not a doctor. I'm not a businessman. I'm not whatever. I'm just some weird guy who lives, off grid. And I'm not in. I mean, I paid money for my main truck. I paid in cash. They can't take my truck away. But they took my truck away. I'm like, fine. I'd rather have you take my truck than pay your stupid payments. I thought they were just giving me the truck without the payments because I never got a bill. You think I'm going to go search them down? I'm going to go where's my bill? No. This is a war, man. This is a fucking war. These people are criminally insane. They're criminals. This is a transnational criminal cartel. They will take whatever you'll give them. You want to bow down to them? Oh, your taxes. I didn't file last year. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, you want to do a lawsuit with me? I tried that with my divorce. I actually hired a lawyer. Biggest mistake of my life. Never engage these creeps. Because once you engage, this is what the Satanists do. Once you volunteer, you're in their system. The judicial system is a criminally run, insane system. You want to surrender? You want to say, okay, let's go to court. I'm like, I'm not going to court. I'm not even. I don't accept your court as even. It's not even constitutional. And by the way, let me just put this information while I'm at it, just to remind everyone, if you haven't signed up for republicforusa.org, sign up with them, help them. They are going to be in charge. We are going to be in charge to institute the election that comes before Jassara can be implemented. So the White Hats are waiting for 50,000 people per state to be registered with the Republic for USA, and then they will go ahead with Jassara. So if you want to take action, you want to do something real, join the Republic, okay? The other thing is, okay, so let me, but it's republicforusa.org. Just, if you can, if you have time, volunteer. Okay, so let me take that off. And let me just remind everyone, I'm not going to play a film tonight, but we really appreciate your participation in this Life Wave health thing. We are not like, this is not a political broadcast. This is not a spiritual broadcast. This is not a health broadcast. This is not an investment broadcast. It's all of that, because a real human must consider all of it. You're a sovereign person. You're not going to say, well, I don't invest. That's what my investment, that's what the experts do. Well, you want to get screwed royally? Trust an investment advisor. We are in control of our lives. We are the one. We are Neo. We are the ones who are just like, we are in line, 100% in alignment with our Iranian brothers and sisters. They had to go to the streets. We don't maybe have to do that in America. But our brothers and sisters in Iran, they had to go to the streets and they were shot. They were risking their lives. So for us to say taxes, insurance, go see a doctor, cholesterol's a problem, we don't comply, period. We eat food that's good for us. Raw milk is you can't even get raw milk. Why? Because it's good for you. Why would the creepazoid corporations allow you to have something that's good for you? They want you to eat processed, over processed food. They want you to fear cholesterol, which is probably good for you. They want you to stay away from fatty meats, which is the best thing you can eat. Anyway, I'm going off on a slight tangent, but we do not comply. But I want to thank everyone, and I want to encourage you to try to. I invite you to try the LifeWave product. If you have aches and pains, if you're 70 years old and you're building a house and you want to have the energy to do it, get the LifeWave patches, get X39, X49. There's a host of patches. I mean, I wear X39, X49 every day. Sometimes I put on SP6 if I want to balance my endocrine system. And Eon, oh my God, Eon is amazing. It reduces inflammation. I don't have a patch on my chest, but I have two patches. One I put at the base of my spine. I put the X39 at the base of my spine. I put the X49 under my belly button. I mean, you could probably figure out why, but all these things, these patches are amazing. So I'm not going to play a video, but I'm just telling you, like, if you have aches and pains, if you have endocrine problems, Grant is a diabetic, and he's getting incredible relief from these patches. So I'm just inviting everyone to call Dr. Stacy if you like, to sign up under me. You could sign up under any one of my friends that teacher on teacher. Thank you so much for in this community. We're going to have the election, Marsh. Do you think we're going to have the election? Yeah, but if we have the election, it'll be on paper ballots, and it'll just going to blow the mind of the deep state, because Trump's already written some sort of executive order, I think, that it'll be a real fair election. But anyway, thank you. We invite you to continue your support with LifeWave. If you have any kind of health issues, man, and you're going to a doctor, why? Why would you do that to yourself? I mean, Danielle and I have certain things we have to deal with doctors, but generally, and the doctors always say, "Do you have insurance?" We're like, "No, we don't have insurance." Well, and they're saying, "Oh, it'll be 200 instead of 1,000 if you don't have insurance." I haven't seen a dentist in years. I know my teeth are black, but I'm happy because every time I went to the dental office, they would x-ray me. I'm like, "You just x-rayed me last time." These systems are designed to hurt you. I'm not a doctor, right? Right. But insurance they're saying, you're getting information. It's a total scam. Total. Why would you spend all this money on a fraudulent licensing? I don't, all these things. You don't need a license. We are going to be living under constitutional law. This whole bullshit matrix system is going by the wayside. They are like crumbling before us. And President Trump is amazing. Okay, so that's it. So thank you for your support on LifeWave. Try the X39. You want to be young? You want to be young again? You want to have a nice relationship? It's never too late to have a happy childhood. It's never too late to have a beautiful relationship. I'm 70 years old. I have a wonderful relationship with Daniela. We're like best buddies. We're inseparable. We do everything together. But anyway, so just respect yourself. We're coming into this is a new mindset. That's what this channel is about. It's not just like, well, let's analyze the political events and see what's really going on. No, this is about ascension. This is about changing I mean, you want to call it by the J name, fine. You want to call it by Mashiach, fine. You want to call it the Mahdi, fine. I don't like any of those terms. I think you are capable of ascending yourself. You don't need to follow anybody else's idea on how to ascend. It's a personal journey. And, Jimmy John, if you tell, if I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm just saying for what I do. Okay, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be like you. But make salt, baking soda, and water. Leave on teeth daily for a while. I'll try that. Baking soda and water. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. But yeah, come to our lifestyle channel on Thursday where we talk about all these kinds of alternative healing things. But LifeWave is to me is the gateway to healing, to staying young, to staying out of pain, to being able to conduct your business because it ain't over. Your life is not over, and you should be living, in my opinion, like a vigorous, forward-thinking lifestyle. Okay, with peroxide, okay, doke, will do. We have peroxide. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, may the force be with you. May you let's play the tune. Yeah, especially after me ranting about the Matrix. Let's just play the tune. I didn't play it last night, so let's just do it.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire, and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the Matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Move into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the Matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
We live in the republic. We live under divine law, not this satanic criminal drug running, adrenochrome licking, parasitic, loosh sucking, criminal judges, criminal lawyers. We don't deal with it. Medicine, all of it. It's done. They are done. And President Trump is putting the final touches on the liberation of ideas of like wait a minute. Venezuela's stealing our oil. They kicked out all the oil companies, and China and Russia are getting like sucking free oil off of us. Like, screw that. We're taking over. It's like it makes perfect sense. Except if, is it politically correct? Are we going to trample on somebody's toes? If I don't pay my parking ticket, is somebody really going? Is somebody not going to eat because I didn't pay my parking ticket? Hell no. Because your money does not go to anything but a criminal enterprise. So if you want to pay them, you want to pay your 35% on your credit card, go ahead. What are you doing? You're feeding the beast. I'm done. I'm done with that. Anyway, may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force, man. You are the one. You are Neo. You are completely, you're sovereign. You can do what you like. You should live your life to its fullest. May source be with you. May you realize that you are a creative source and nothing can stop what's coming, man. It is so happening right now. And God bless our Iranian brothers and sisters for standing up to this tyrannical, insane, farcical ridiculousness that pretends to be a religion. Let's be honest, okay? I'm not giving any of the other religions a free pass either. They're doing the best they can. Some of them are peaceful, some of them are not. But if you're going to tell me that I'm a sinner and I have to do penance and all this other bullshit, I'm just like, screw it, man. Or I got to wait for Messiah to have a real life. Oh, you just wait for Messiah, Mashiach. Mashiach will come and then I can live a life. No, you live a life now. And when Mashiach comes, that's nice. If Mashiach doesn't come, that's nice. It doesn't matter. Just like my channel. If I have a million hits, that's nice. If I have 100 hits, that's nice too. I don't care. Okay, whatever. It's all, we are in control of our lives, and you should be living it in a way that's productive and purposeful and meaningful. That's the main thing. A life with meaning. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face. Hope I didn't get too off the wall. And rock the world.